Yo, what's up, guys? Alex Baker here for Stokastic. Building 3 FanDuel lamps for you guys today. This week, so far, week 10, it's like really interesting because there's no like really exceptional values. Like, no key players are injured. In fact, well, at quarterback there are. That doesn't really create great values. It only hurts the values of other players. And then, like a lot of players are coming back, like Jonathan Taylor, for instance. So now what I'm finding this week is that you got a lot of options that are pretty reasonable, so it should be fun. All right, Goff plus St. Brown plus the Lions. I kind of like this. Like the only thing that stands out, like Austin Hooper at 4 points. Like I can't remember what Brock Wright is. Let me check. Brock Wright's the guy in Detroit that's getting a lot of the snaps at tight end. I can actually swap to Brock Wright in this lineup and boost my correlation significantly. So that'd be something right off the bat that I would do. Like the only tricky part, like okay, so Austin Hooper is 0.8% owned, so maybe that's why he's showing up in this lineup. Is like it's kind of like a fake way of finding contrarian lineups because like that one player being 0.8% only really helps if he gets an outlier game, right? So not something that's going to be as likely with a guy that's not projected for very many points in the first place. All right, let's check out the top stacks on FanDuel. I'll give you some direction. Mahomes super chalky, like a great stack, obviously. Like really hard to pick apart that one. Looks like the value on Kansas City is much better than like Miami, which since Mecole Hardman is out this week, that seems to check out. Chicago is the third stack, like super popular this week, but on FanDuel, it's like more about touchdowns than it is about yardage as far as stacks. So versus the Lions, Bears are projected to do quite well. I like that. I'll probably have some shares, but it's like he's going to be so popular after last week where he just like literally set the record for rushing QBs. All right, Mahomes plus Kelsey. I think this is the basis of a really good lineup here. So let me start this one. Mahomes, Kelsey. I do feel like the value on Kansas City this week is significant. David Montgomery, I think he's a good value and shouldn't be particularly popular this week because everyone's going to be on Justin Fields. Jacobs, definitely flashed upside. Darnell Mooney. That would be one where maybe I swap off Mooney and go to a different option that plays for Kansas City. Trey Judy from Russell Wilson, like it's a good value, but the Broncos have been kind of dreadful so far. So, that's what we got to take some shots on in GPPs. All right, so I kind of identified Mooney as the option to pivot from. Let's go back up to Kansas City. MVS or Tony. I think the ownership is going to change a lot between now and lock because Hardman was just ruled out. So since this is a chalk stack, I don't expect it to grade very well on the contrarian scale. But we do have two players that are like relatively low and with Judy and Cooks. And then, we're not super chalky at the other positions. Going double tight end, it's not like a great strategy in FanDuel, I'd say, but since there's no value this week, going double tight end does seem to make a lot more sense because it's like Foster Moreau, for instance, like pretty solid value regardless of position. So Daniel Jones to Wandale. I think this is a great start to a lineup. So I hope this is helping you guys. I'm kind of like taking these lineups and then showing you like maybe a pivot or two that could make it even better. All right, Aaron Jones, Damian Pierce, Jefferson, going Jefferson. All right, Rondale, Then we got Firemouth, ETN, and Steelers D. Okay, cool. So 110 versus 113. It's a little bit lower projected. The other change I'll make is I feel like getting Evan Ingram instead of Firemouth makes a lot of sense. Like, that's improves correlation. And oh, sorry, not Evan Ingram. I'm like behind on my teams apparently. Tanner Hudson, like actually, uh, Tanner Hudson, like with Daniel Bellinger out, I suppose could be like a play, but and that's one of the troubles with the team, like with the Giants this week, is they're just hard to stack. Maybe my better bet is going up from Pierce to Barkley. Since they're on the opposite sides of this game, there might be some correlation that works in your favor there. And then I can get a decent tight end. I just have to get a cheaper defense. So, let's see. Jasicki's super fine. Okay, the way I said that was so ridiculous. Taysom Hill is tight end on FanDuel. I like to see that. Foster Moreau is my favorite value this week at tight end, so let's go with him. And then at defense, I'll use the boom bust tool to kind of help me plan this out. So that will help me like narrow down the options here and understand the salaries. It looks like the cheapest one is 3K, so I am going to have to make another pivot here. Let's just take Etienne out for the sake of experimenting a little bit. It's Damian Pierce barely doesn't fit. Okay. David Montgomery, that seems pretty reasonable. And then 3,900, that gives me enough breathing room here. Go with the Saints. They're facing Pittsburgh, so I think Kenny Pickett is definitely unproven. So I like that. I'm getting this as kind of chalky, but I do have, Daniel Jones, who's unpopular. Rondale Moore is kind of a sleeper. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, I think he's the best option for Daniel Jones. So I kind of like the stacks, Barkley, Robinson, Jones, and, that's what it is. All right, guys, if you're interested in these tools, you get like a ton for your membership of Stokastic. You get the top stacks, the boom bust, the lineup generator is all included. This will really help you level up your game and win more money. And you can try it all out 3 days for free. Use that link in the description below. And 3 days is Friday today. You'll get all the way through Monday, win some money, and then stick around. That's really the system that we set up. So hopefully this gives you guys some insight on how to build for this weekend. All right, Tua Tagovailoa, like I think if I'd probably want Waddle or Hill in the lineup with him. But okay. Mahomes, Tony, not exactly what I'm looking for. Let's try to find someone that's a little bit more contrarian. Ellinger, Pittman, kind of interesting, but I just made a DraftKings one in the other video for that. So let's keep going. Tua to Waddle. And then I almost feel like you could swap out Tanyan for Jasicki. And I kind of like this because like everyone who has Tua is probably going to have Tyreek Hill, but going to Waddle and Jasicki, that's a lot of correlation. Tony Pollard, that's not someone I'm keen on. I probably would prefer Zeke, same price. He's actually projected to be lower owned somehow. That just doesn't make any sense, but I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to play it. All right. And then Montgomery. I'm getting David Montgomery in a scary amount of lineups right now. So I don't feel great about that. Cooks is kind of popping up I think because his ownership is low because he's questionable, that's really going to depend on if he's questionable on Sunday. So stay tuned to the ownership projections for our latest projections on that. All right, this one, honestly, like I only had to make that one pivot to get Jasicki instead of Tunyon. Made it a lot better. And I think it's just like contrarian enough that you take a pretty chalky quarterback like Tua and you got a nice lineup. So, guys, let me know what you think about these lineups in the comments. Hit the like button, please. That gives us the positive feedback that we need as Stokastic. And good luck this week.